SJ, OCO, Alito to the Royals. Grand Shining. We're going to pop off learning about Denver. Been here for 30 years, 30 plus. It's never too late. Learn about your city. Let's go. In the summer of 1858, a small group of prospectors from Georgia crossed the Great Plains of the Colorado Territory and made a region-changing discovery at the base of the Rocky Mountains. Go. And although not much of the precious metal was found, the mere whisper of the word was enough to start a veritable stampede into the region. After all, the California gold rush had occurred just 9 years earlier, 1849. It wasn't long before, hang on, something about that sea, huh? California, Colorado, Canada. Could even throw Cleveland in there, right? It's a bunch of C's. Let's go. It wasn't long before tents, TPs, CCC, wagons, link toes, or new word, new experiences, and crudely constructed log cabins line the banks of the South Platte River. Banks, our trading grounds. Oh no, docks, ships, boats, all that good stuff of the Platte River, South Platte River. As prospectors and fortune seekers poured into the area, they came from all over the country, traveling on foot in covered wagons, by horseback, and even pushing their belongings in wheelbarrows. Fortune seekers. We already knew the fortune was here. You know what I'm saying? Fortune seekers, they poured into the area like that. Flood. There's a build on that. Go tune in, tap in. Pikes Peak, a 14,000-foot mountain to the south of the mining camp, served as both a landmark and a rallying cry for weary travelers. The Pikes Peak or bust gold rush was in full force. Shoot. However, gold wasn't the only way to strike it rich in the boomtown that was springing up on the banks of the South Platte. Those who arrived early enough could simply stake out a claim of land. Lay out city streets, and then sell the lots to those arriving after them. Don't sell the lots. You sell a lot of lots, aren't you? Hijack, get away. General William H. Larimer didn't arrive early. But followed the plan perfectly. So this was already thought out. It was well thought out. You feel me? Followed the plan perfectly. To the T. Descendants still today. Scoot up. He claim jumped the land on the eastern side of Cherry Creek. Laid out a city. So we were just talking about how if you arrive early enough, you could simply stake out a claim of land. Right here. Remember? Oh yeah. Early enough. You gotta be early enough. You're not just gonna come late to the party and be like, oh yeah, wait a minute. Ain't that what they did? That was the whole game plan when they came over here, huh? Oh no. Of course. There's no doubt. In Cherry Creek, oh man. If you're in town, go look at what Cherry Creek look like, man. Go peep it out. He laid out a city and, in hopes of gaining political favor, named the city after Kansas Territorial Governor James Denver. What he didn't know was that Denver had already resigned, so you're not going to pull any favors of nepotism today, are you, Mr. Larimer? Okay, let's go check out the name of Denver on a good old entertainment site that seems to have a little hint of a gem here and there, right? English Denver. Habitational name from Denver and Norfolk, named as Danesford. From Old English, Dini, Dane, genitive, Dina, plus fire, fair, Dina fair, Ford passage crossing. Irish, adopted because of rough phonetic similarity for Old Dwin each die. Descendant of Dwin each aid or Ide. A personal name meaning humane. Also not barbaric or uncivilized. So you're humane, you're very human. More often anglicized as Dennehy. Goodness gracious. Oh, that's very interesting. So, we know that it's got some English, it's got some Norfolk, it's got some Old English, it's got some Irish. It's a descendant of Dwin each aid. Sounds very German. Let's go to some baby names. Why don't we? Green Valley, origin French. Denver, origin French. French origin Denver. Green Valley, from Anvers. Denver, If you put an A in the D, right here, you put an A right here, you get Denver. Denver is a gender-neutral name of French and Old English origins, meaning Green Valley or from Anvers. A habitational name that conjures up imagery of the Colorado Rocky Mountains. So just from that name, they're conjuring. I mean, holy, the witchcraft with them is like impeccable, isn't it? They learned it from somebody. Denver is certainly on that baby name map, name baby after a capital city, and remind them that they're always your number one. It shouldn't matter about the name. They should always be your number one. Cool. Let's get back into this. This is interesting. A great fire burned much of Denver's business district to the ground in 1863. The following year, a flash flood swept down Cherry Creek, killing 20 people. See, this is interesting because I did one of those on the Pueblo or the Anasazi flood, right? And it has some of the same intel, about 20 people and causing $1 million in damage. It's funny how those things, it's no such thing as coincidence. Those things intertwine with each other, right? Pueblo flood, we believe, Anasazi flood, not believe. I know it was in the 20s. Continuing. And shortly after that, an Indian war broke out. I did one of those too on the Sand Creek Massacre. Kiowa. Say whatever way. Float your boat as long as you overstand what happened. Broke out, cutting stage stations and supply lines and leaving Denver with just weeks of food. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on. The early hardships only solidified the resolve of Denver citizens and made them more determined to not just survive, but to thrive. When the Union Pacific Railroad bypassed Colorado on its transcontinental route, Denverites raised $300,000 and built their own railroad to meet the Union Pacific in Cheyenne, Wyoming. NORAD much. Soon after the Kansas Pacific Railroad crossed the plains to Denver, and when a major silver strike was hit in Leadville, Denver was a boomtown once again. Once again, you have a boomtown. You know, in a boomtown, it's a little bit over 20 people. Am I wrong about that, or am I missing something? But if you look at any other booming town right now, or back then, you're going to get a population of way more than 20 people. Yeah. Okay, let's look at what this is. This might not even be worth reading, you know. Yeah, this is pretty much just an interview with Mr. Tom Noel. Yeah. He's not important. Not to me. Let's get a little overview of... Let's do some etymology things real quick. Let's get rid of these. Boom. Denver City in Colorado, U.S., founded 1858 as Auraria Golden, renamed 1859 for, we already got this, governor of the territory. So they're making territories. They're doing their thing, right? Where are we in this? So they just separated the history, and they made their own history. And we had her story, we had our story, we had this story, and it was a story passed on. The word I'm looking for is oral tradition. Story. Stories is something you tell around a campfire. We're doing this always. The family name is from the place of that name in Norfolk, literally ford or passage used by the Danes. Where we getting that into? From Old English, Dina, genitive, plural, fire, fair, Dina, fair, fire, Dina, fire, journey, road, passage, expedition, from strong, neuter of farin to journey, fahren. The Denver boot or shoe, a wheel clamp for illegally parked vehicles, supposedly was invented in 1953. Yeah, we got that over here. We got that. Let's go get that again. I'm gonna go to the bookmarks. We're gonna pull that back up. Yeah, Hijack City and Ancestry gave us that English habitational name from Denver and Norfolk, named as Danesfort. Old English, Dean, Dane, Dean of a school, popping off, getting intel, high intel. The stakes are high, aren't they? So yeah, we can cross-examine that or cross-reference, whatever word you like to say. Oh yeah. Journey. That's the funny part. I'm finding that funny. To journey, road, passage, expedition, El Dorado, Colorado. I'm cold. Get some more intel. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's no belief. So there's a club, El Dorado. There's El Dorado in Kansas. Pop off. I am. Yeah, El Dorado Springs, Colorado. 294 Artesian Drive, El Dorado Springs, Colorado 80025. Yes, I did just look that up. Yes, I did really fast. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this because I'm starting to get kind of irritated. There will be smoke. There will be fire. They will pay for what they do. So let's go to Mr. Larimer. Watch my mouth. I want to call him something other than that. They say he's a general. Oh man. The general of what? Hijack? Was a prominent 19th century town promoter. Oh wow, so Larimer's promoting the town to Mr. Denver. Mr. John Denver. Mr. John Denver. Scary Mr. John Denver. Town promoter, prospector, and legislator in the Kansas and Colorado territories. He is known for establishing the city of Denver, which he is, I mean, you can give him the credit or you can't, because what's happening here, what you see here, is more such as they're establishing their corrupt system. That's another build. Larimer's life serves as an example of the pitfalls of conducting business in the American West. He is the namesake of Larimer Street, did not know that, in Denver, but obviously in Larimer County, didn't I say that, in northern Colorado. Larimer's ancestors... Larimer's ancestors immigrated from Scotland to what became Adams County, Pennsylvania. We have an Adams. It's actually a college. Adams State, I believe it is. No, I think it is. No, wait, it is Adams State. Let's verify. Hate to give y'all some wrong information. Adams. Yep, Adams State University, Alamosa, Pennsylvania, around 1700. Who cares about when he was born? I just no, and it's not immigrated with an E. No, sir. It would be immigrated with an IMMIGRATED from Scotland. But with Scotland over here, because that's funny how they say immigrated from Scotland to what became Adams County, Pennsylvania, around 1700. Okay, so then we have Circleville. But back to this is what I'm saying is when you immigrate with the E, you were already something was here, right? So if I left Colorado and I went to Kansas right now, that would be immigrating because I've already been here. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So was Scotland over here? I mean, I'm not trying to be too he's saying that this is England. No, no, no. I need further evidence. But that E is a strong E, right? But that was around 17. And this hijack shit, he's nowhere near American, right? Or is he still in names? There's so many things to throw up in the air and bounce around. Because this is just the introduction. We're gonna get real sticky. You feel me? We're gonna get sticky. Larimer's ancestors, hijacksters. So he manages a wagon line. They probably manage a wagon line. He acquired stone from the Philadelphia Turnpike. That would be interesting to look up if you're from the Philadelphia area. That's your stomping grounds if you are a native to Philadelphia. Okay, he also worked as an innkeeper, but he organized a profitable coal company and established a wholesale grocery store. He worked as an innkeeper and a banker. Banker? That's their money. Who cares? Founded 2 railroads, the Pittsburgh and the Connellsville or Connellsville, and the Remington Coal Railroad, the Remington Shotgun. Remington. Larimer served in the Pennsylvania militia, so basically they're just doing a lot of in-hugging. Oh, here we go. Larimer began buying and selling real estate. We're going to read this whole paragraph. Larimer began buying and selling real estate in Denver City from the outset. You outsider. God dang it, bro. Records of land transactions in the Denver Clerk and Recorder's Office show him as receiving property 11 times and disposing of land 7 times. Where are those other 4? During the 1859 fiscal year. Between 1859 and 1875, he is recorded 15 times as land grantee and 20 times as grantor. Dang, he was busy. With prices ranging from $1 to $1,000, Larimer was listed in the Denver City Directory of 1859 as a real estate agent from Leavenworth. I mean, this is so interesting, right? Like, I'm having mixed emotions with this. Leavenworth is in Kansas, so we see the ties that they had, hijack ties with each other. You feel me? So let's fast forward. We can glance at this. You can get your screenshots in. I'm kind of just irritated, to be real with you. Makes a bid for governor. Yeah, pretty much. They just hype up their people because they knew what they were doing. Remember, you had to have that plan. Remember, you had to have a good plan. You had to have that plan that would be a great plan. You have to follow that plan perfectly. Followed the plan perfectly. That was Mr. Larimer. He claim jumped the land. So he's claim jumping land. Article says he is doing basically giving land, right? If I'm recalling that correctly. Let me go back up. He's not too far down. There we go. Okay. Records of land transactions in the Denver Clerk. Okay, so Denver Clerk usually records transactions. He's claim jumping land. He's claiming it. Do you know the definition of claiming something? Let's pull it up. Usually, if I claim that shoe, that would be my shoe. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers type of thing. State or assert that something is the case, typically without providing evidence or proof. claim jumping. So state or assert that something is the case, typically without providing evidence or proof. He claimed that he came from a wealthy, educated family, but did he? That's claiming. You you claim that, but is that true? You need the proof, bruh. You need the proof. All these years later, we're coming up with the hijack because, I mean, he was active. He was active. He was active. Boy, wasn't he active? I mean, he was getting it in for 16 years. 16 years. $1 to $1,000 prices. We weren't big on prices and charging you stuff, especially if it's land. But best believe if we do happen to be like, we need this amount of money, we gonna charge you more than $1 to $1,000, you immigrant. We're gonna charge you somewhere in the billions. We're gonna say it's priceless. We're gonna say no, sir. All those things. You get many choices, and I know $1 to $1,000 will not happen when you're claim jumping the land. You're laying out a city. Anyway, we're gonna jump to his buddy. Yeah, I want y'all to. We're gonna drop links. We're gonna drop links. Makes a bid for governor. I mean, he's a thief. That's how governors usually win. Mayors, all that good corrupt stuff. Manifest destiny, a firm believer in manifest destiny. Denver quickly became the seat of Arapahoe County, Kansas Territory. Arapahoe County, Kansas Territory. Let's see where you guys are talking about. So we have an Arapahoe in Colorado. So go figure if he's putting Arapahoe with. Of course, Arapahoe County covers 805 square miles in north central Colorado, running east across the high plains from the southern edge of Denver. Sheesh. It is named for the Arapahoe, who once inhabited that area. We're going to do a build on the hijack tribes. We're going to do a build on the authentic tribes, organic to the land. And look at this. You know, I'm not one to make assumptions, so I'm going to say this is not an organic tribe. I'm going to say rather before or after. Yeah, that's before it could have been, but after. Oh yeah, after they do their number on you, a couple numbers on you, your tribe is no longer a tribe. Arapahoe without an E. If you call somebody a Arapahoe, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're gonna continue. I don't want to stay on this too long. We're gonna come back to this, so I got it bookmarked. We're gonna go ahead and close this tab because we're not gonna be here all day. This is just an introduction. Okay, if you're like most residents of the Mile High, this is Mr. James W. Denver. I thought it was John. Have I been saying John? No, James. I've been saying James. Oh my God. I've been saying James. Yeah, James Denver. Or John, who gives a hoot, right? Call him Jim if you want. Denver, the man was an accomplished. Let's not read that. Politician and lawyer who led a wagon train. Something about them and wagons. Killed a man in the California duel and had a less than hospitable relationship with Denver. Okay, so Denver the man. Okay, so that was the duel. Yeah. So that sounds like, one of the homies. That don't sound like none of the immigrants, the hijack immigrants with an IM. Them. Isn't that interesting how IM is immigrant? So it's like you're saying, I am the immigrant. You know what I'm saying? They put it right in front of you. Among his other notable accomplishments was serving in the Mexican-American. Well, of course he was, because most of this is Mexicana. And civil wars. He was on the Union side, in case you're wondering, and advocating for American Indian rights. Now, why is he advocating for those? This might be the one where we really read him. American Indian rights. But we did have that Arapahoe thing with Kansas and calling Colorado Kansas territory and things like that and such. This gets interesting. I didn't think it would be this interesting. So that's what I get for thinking. Denver becomes Denver. Pegging down exactly who decided to name Denver Denver is difficult, but the most commonly agreed on story is this one. Story. Most commonly agreed. So it's the most one. So you got your agreed upon, you got your commonly agreed upon, and you got your most commonly agreed upon. In 1858, a party of men set out from Lawrence, Kansas, then Kansas Territory, towards what would become Denver. So that's interesting. In 1858, a party of men set out from Lawrence, Kansas, towards what would become Denver. Wow. Which was in Arapahoe County at the time. It's a lot of at the times. Man, it's a lot of times. Remember that one time? Arapahoe County covered a huge swath of land in what would become what would become Colorado and Kansas, what would become Denver. This party included some names that should be familiar to any Denverite immigrant, including General William H. Larimer, Samuel S. Curtis, Edward Wynkoop, and Charles Blake. Blake Street is one of the craziest streets out here. Lots of crime. One of the most gentrified areas too. Lots of crime. Lots of crime. Isn't that interesting? Who's bringing the crime? Who's really uncivilized? They're barbaric. Yeah, most of them came over as prisoners. That's what's in Denver. So let's read this right here. All starts out well enough as Denver describes receiving an invitation to visit Denver, saying, "In 1875, I received a strong and pressing invitation from an old friend to visit him in Denver. I accepted." Okay, let's fast forward, but things go downhill quickly as poor General Denver is all but ghosted by his friend, the Larimer fellow. My friend did not even visit me at the American Hotel when I got to Denver, and his name's Denver. Not the real Denver. You scared you're gonna run across somebody who knows? I only saw him when I went to his office. Naturally, I felt that was an unusual reception. Okay, that's pretty rude. But maybe things went better when he visited again in 1883. No such luck. In 1883, I received a strong pressing invitation from the city council to visit the mineral exposition. The council extended me the freedom of the city. Freedom. I felt highly complimented. I bet you did. Alas, the people of Denver once again ignored the man whose name they likely uttered nearly every day. But my reception was very cool. He said that back then. There was nobody to receive us or give us information. I naturally received the impression there were not many people in Denver City who cared much about me. Who would be in Denver City not caring about you? Your name's Denver. For God's sake, your name is Denver, fella. Sadly, the crying smiley face emoji was not yet invented to help fully express the general's pain. Denver had apparently always been on Denver's mind, as he expressed. I've always taken a very lively interest in the growth of the city and all its interests, and had never failed to help it along whenever I could. And I felt mortified and humiliated when I was confronted with such neglect. Who the is out here not showing him no love? The Nagas. The so-called black people. Is that what we're coming across? Because wait till we get deeper into the series. Remember this. Keep this in mind. Screenshot this, video record this. I was confronted with such neglect. You feel neglected, Mr. Denver, you immigrant. The city of Denver sadly never got another chance to shower the good general with the praise he felt he so richly deserved. Well, that's where you have things like claiming you deserve such respect, right? Oh wow, this gets better and better. Oh, this gets better. The next paragraph after I finish this is going to be great. As he passed into eternity just a few months after unloading his feelings about visiting Denver. A few months after penning the letter, Denver died in Washington, D.C., supposedly just a few months after the sundown gun fired from a local barracks. A friend who sat by his bedside is sad to have remarked, a sundown gun. So is that a hand of a so-called black man? You know, the sundown towns. The black people got so-called black people got to leave. A friend who sat by his bedside is sad to have remarked, what a fitting time for a soldier to die. How fitting, very fitting. We're going to close out of that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This series is going to get really interesting. It won't get weird, I promise. I mean, some stuff might be weird to you, but as you can see here, yeah. this gives you an idea of where we're headed. So, motto, much Vnokeckv for tuning in. Thank you. Much love. I will see y'all in episode 2 of the Denver series. Y'all stay safe out there. Be well. Be courteous. Stay dangerous. Crazy world. Learn about your city and your state. Till next time.